Good morning, guys. Today is day 12.
So you gotta breathe, 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 breathe. Let it go and let it be.
I guess I can just leave my seatbelt off since we're sitting in a parking lot.
The triple combo. We're sitting outside of the hospital at the moment. We actually just got blood work for Mary's liver. Oh, I thought you were gonna give me a fist bump. We got blood work to follow up on how Mary's liver is handling this new triple combo Vertex medication.
So, as we're sitting here filming this, I just had the blood drawn. We don't know the results. So, this is our 12-day how it's going update. And I am basically speechless with gratitude. This medication works. Okay, so I'll give you a brief overview of how it went down, and then we'll kind of recap where I'm at.
Yeah.
So, day 1, took the pill in the morning. The first 3 days I was on a half dose in the morning and then a full dose at night. And then day 4 to 12, I've been on full dose morning, full dose night. It's 2 pills in the morning, 1 at night for the full triple combo drug. So the first 3 days, well, the first day, so I took the pill and they said most commonly it's an increase in cough and potentially like a headache or
Just nothing crazy. Kind of maybe increase general CF symptoms.
Right. And maybe that's because it's working on your cells and it's changing the chemistry inside your body and that sort of thing. So I think I did have more coughing that day. I didn't really know if it was just a lots of coughing day.
Yeah, because Mary's CF symptoms go up and down every day. So it was hard. It was hard initially. I think in the first 3 days, it was hard to know. You know, we talked about it on these videos, like, we don't know what to make of anything at this point.
Right.
And, yeah, so
looking back on it, yes, I do think that that was an increase of cough. And that first afternoon, there was a lot of dark mucus that I was coughing up. That happens. It used to happen virtually every day. I'd have, you know, my normal morning nasty clear out my lungs mucus, and then in the afternoon I'd have like an hour or two of some really thick and dark mucus and clearing that out, and then whatever. Well, that afternoon it just felt like it just kept going and going and lots of dark mucus coming out, blah blah blah. And then the next day, kind of same thing, more cough, more mucus, but what I was potentially blood sugar. Basically, what I had heard about the previous drugs was that you kind of get flu-like symptoms and like really hard to breathe and just not feeling good. And I didn't have any of that with this medication.
yeah, and I think, or can be, the second Vertex drug that came out was the one that was kind of the big culprit of that. And then some people had some side effects with Symdeco, the previous generation, for people with 2 copies of Delta 508. But kind of the idea was that with these new generations and combinations that those symptoms would be less.
Right. And what they saw in the trial was that the symptoms were a lot less. So going into it, I was expecting the worst, just to be prepared for the worst, and it was very mild. So got through those first couple days of like more coughing and more mucus. And then by day 3, 4 was my first full dose, 5, I was like, seems like less mucus. We'll see. And then day 5, 6, 7, I was like, oh my goodness gracious. I am coughing less. And day 9, 10, 11, 12 have just been consistently consistently predictable.
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning. I don't cough the second my eyeballs like open up. It used to be that like if I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I get out of bed and I'm coughing because my body's waking up, and I'm coughing, and then I'm laying in bed afterward to go to sleep, and I usually am up coughing for like 30 minutes or an hour, and then I go back to sleep, and then I wake up in the morning and it starts all over again. So that was my normal before this medication. Now I wake up, I probably cough one long hard cough, and then I go to the bathroom, I get ready, I go downstairs, and I start my airway clearance. I'm not coughing all the way down the stairs. I'm not coughing every second. We had a conversation. Like we were talking and I wasn't coughing. We had a
conversation before Mary did her best. Like that is kind of unheard of in the last couple of years.
Because before it was like, might as well don't even talk to me because I'm going to start coughing and then I won't be able to hear what you're saying, and then I'm vomiting from coughing, so then we're cleaning up, you know, like that's what it was. That was my reality every day.
Yeah.
So the quick difference, like by day 5-ish, so a couple of days into the full dose, it was changing, and it was every day was, I won't say that it's improving every single day.
Yeah.
Once I improved to this kind of what it feels like maybe is my new normal, but we're only on day 12. We'll see.
I think we have to, like in kind of zooming out at the last 12 days, we have to recognize a couple of details going into this. One is that Mary was pretty much at the ideal spot for starting this, in that she had just finished a course of IVs a week before, and a week after IVs is typically when we start to see improvement from those IVs. So I think like her lungs get it, you know, being at a more manageable spot going into this was, I mean, really gave this drug the best opportunity.
Right.
Also, we just talked about it at an appointment with her sinus surgeon. Like sinus wise, she was kind of at a good spot too, because a month ago she got her sinuses cleared out. So there's that.
Yes, and also I have taken, you know, we often talk about I'm going to take the best care of my body that I possibly can. And what I mean by that is that taking care of my body hits pretty high on priorities for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a skip treatments kind of person. I have figured out over the last couple of years that doing 1 hour of vest twice a day has given me the best chance at clearing my lungs. I have figured out kind of the pattern of my day. So I know, before this drug, I knew that I needed to spend a lot of time and energy in the morning clearing my airways to give me the best chance at a productive day. Or I've taken the best care of my body that I possibly can. And even though my lung function has declined over the years, on scans, my lungs look better than they function. And one of the things that we kept thinking was, well, that is really great because maybe it puts my lungs at a good spot, like to benefit a lot from this medication. And
I think looking at how this has helped, the biggest symptom that was inhibiting, and I'd say continues to inhibit Mary in day-to-day life, is the amount of infected mucus. Like, it was just like she was describing about mornings, like it's like no amount of airway clearance would be enough to be able to predict a good hour or that sort of thing. And that is what's changed.
Right. So I'm still waking up and doing my airway clearance. That won't change because I still have cystic fibrosis. I still am, what's the word, like overrun? Pseudomonas has colonized. I still have colonized Pseudomonas resistant, pan-resistant bacteria. I still have MRSA. I still have, you know, my lungs are still my lungs. But what has changed is that, I don't know where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
My lungs are still going to be my lungs.
I mean, theoretically, this drug is making Mary's lungs a less unhealthy environment. You know, like, or that was kind of a double negative. And like, not creating as much mucus so that bacteria can't rear its ugly side as much.
Right. And of course we're only on day 12. Of course we don't know. Like Peter said, I've just finished over a month of IVs. Like, I was on IVs for a long time. And we don't know what it's going to look like. People who are on this medication still need IV antibiotics. But what it's shown is they need them less often. That would be amazing.
Yeah. And I think we're at the spot, you know, this is very fresh in Mary's journey. Time's going to tell what it's going to look like in the long run. But Mary said to me yesterday, if the blood results that we get tomorrow come back and it's just like, my liver can't handle it, she goes, it was so worth it. It was so worth it to have these last 12 days.
The liver damage isn't worth it.
No.
The having, even if it was only 12 days.
Yeah, like she was basically saying, I wouldn't be disappointed because this has been so great.
Having the last, are you crying?
No.
Oh, your eyes look a little glossy. Having the last week, you know, let's say that like day 5 is when it started. So 1 week of consistent predictability. Do your airway clearance and then you have a break during the day. That is such a gift to me. And it doesn't mean that I don't cough during the day. I was just sitting in that post-op appointment and I was coughing. But I'm not coughing every single time I move. Yeah. And so, do you have some?
Well, I was just gonna say that it's like, in that regard, there's other aspects of Mary CF that I wouldn't say this about, but in that regard, it's like we went back 9 years or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
It is so crazy. Some of the things I wanted to go through, I've been trying to keep a list on my phone because I know I'm gonna forget. I was trying to keep a list. I just said that. Okay. We're excited. Yeah. Okay, so first dose, the coughing, we mentioned that. Now, as we were heading out of the hospital after the very first dose, about an hour and a half after the first dose, I started having a low blood sugar, and it was like more, I don't know. It was like, wow, okay, body, what are you doing? You don't usually drop at this point of the day, or like, I just ate, or like, what's wrong with you? So I was like, that's weird, whatever. I treated it and moved on. That evening, I had a low-grade fever. That has been normal for me even after IVs. The second dose, I went about an hour after the dose. Again, my blood sugar went much lower than it normally does, and I treated, and it kept going low.
She was pretty out of it too.
And I kept treating, and it kept going low. So that was a challenge, but we got it up, and like, it wasn't scary, it was just annoying.
Yeah.
And then a low-grade fever that day again. Third day, less severe low. That's what I wrote. I caught it and treated it before it went as low, because I realized, okay, my pancreas is going crazy. When I see it just starting to drop, treat it. And so I caught it there, and I wrote, felt good. Fourth day, I was coughing through the night. So the fourth day, I was coughing through the night, which was just, I wrote that down because it was like, okay, that was part of what was happening before I started the drug. I was coughing through the night sometimes. Anyway, chest pain. There was chest pain that day. It started. Loud breathing crackles, which was just my normal, but I guess I wanted to write it down. Hard coughing, but I wrote less coughing through the day. Some dark mucus, whatever. The fifth day, chest pain again. Deep rumbles in my left lower. Back here, that has been a consistent thing. Some deep rumbles of mucus. Blood sugar dropping a lot this day. And also that was the day when it started being, not just when my blood sugar was low, but I was really shaky throughout the whole day. And it was frustrating because I felt like my lungs were feeling better, and yet my body was so shaky even when my blood sugar was fine. And they did tell me that with this medication, if a patient has diabetes and they take insulin, this medication has been showing that they need less insulin. Well, I don't take insulin and my blood sugar already goes low, so it kind of makes sense, I guess, that it's...
Maybe. We're just speculating. But that weird feeling that may or may not be blood sugar related has been kind of consistent throughout the last 12 days of, at some parts of the day, Mary will just feel either shaky or weak or just weird, like just she'll be like, I feel weird, and it's not like a CF feeling weird, it's like a
so weird,
her body just feeling weird.
And then that kind of continued, day 6, 7, 8, some more chest pain. It says not as shaky as yesterday. Day 9, oh wait, day 8, I got all confused with my days. And then day 9 was when I was coughing so much I started throwing up, and that has happened a couple of times. But overall, the reason I wanted to write that down, I knew I'd forget, and those are the little nuances that I'm seeing improvement on. Yeah. Less shaky overall. I'm still having low blood sugars and a little more than my normal, and but it's very much improving from those first days. I'm curious. I'm so curious to see what that blood work shows. We're curious what my lung function's gonna be, but ultimately, I don't care about the lung function number. Mm-hmm. Even if I have a low lung function number, but I'm not coughing through the day as much, it gives me so much freedom. Yeah, we're so grateful. We don't know what it's gonna look like in day 13, 14, and beyond, but for now, we're just going to soak up the benefits that we think Mary is receiving from this Vertex triple combo, and we're excited for what this means for the CF community going forward. I mean, it's submitted to the FDA for approval, and so hopefully within the next few months, this could be something that pretty much the majority of the CF population could benefit from. So, yeah. There are a few, I don't know, I was trying to think if I was forgetting anything. There are a few more things. I'm not sleeping quite as well, just like my sleep, but I'm not coughing through the night. So And there are a few more things we'll talk about in the future, but for now, that's our basic, how it went for the first 12 days. We are grateful. If you are waiting for your center to be approved for expanded access, I am sending you as much encouragement as I can. Keep pursuing it. I hope that it does for other people what I've experienced in the last week. And I've heard from a lot of people who have been on it for the trial, and they are just ecstatic because of all the good that it's doing. So hang in there, guys, and thanks for coming on this crazy journey of ups and downs. And the last week has been a lot of thumbs ups. So thanks, guys. As always,
See you tomorrow.
good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.